Markle's PR team really does not understand British history or the British public at all, do they? Princess Diana would be appalled by MM's proven lies and misrepresentations about her life in Britain. To link the Princess of Wales in any way with that appalling, proven liar, insults Diana herself in our memories, and moreover, such presumption does Markle no favours whatsoever. She should be doing good for others and highlighting their needs and achievements. That is what Diana did. That is her legacy. The uproar began after royal commentator Omid Scobie took to Twitter the law at HBO's new documentary The Princess. The film details the life and death of Princess Diana and the British public's attitude toward the royal family via news footage from the time. Just watch the first 30 minutes of this documentary. The 80s in Britain was a totally different place than it is today. Same as you cannot compare Diana to Meghan. Diana was a 19-year-old virgin when she married Charles for love. Whatever her, and his, faults, she respected the RF and wanted it to succeed. Markle was a mid-30s divorcee who had an agenda, is not young and naive, and knew exactly what she was doing. Bagging a free wedding, bagging a hapless jealous man who should have shown loyalty to his family. Ridiculous to compare Diana to Meghan. However, many were quick to draw a comparison between the late Princess of Wales and Meghan Markle. Royal commentator Omid Scobie, quoting from the documentary, said, "When you put a modern person in an ancient institution, they will be destroyed. But once an institution starts destroying people, it's time to recognize there is something fundamentally wrong with that institution and not the people it destroys." Scobie should find himself another subject to write about. The documentary is not showing anything new, and Meghan, being older than Harry, would have watched the funeral and seen him walking behind the coffin. Her claim that she didn't know anything about Harry is a huge lie, since his mother was her idol. She can never ever be Diana, and the dimwit should realize that. Meghan has too much bad baggage. Have you watched The Princess yet? Meghan's fans took to social media to compare the documentary with the Sussex's departure from royal life. Some went so far as to vow to fight back against the firm. Replying to Mr. Scobie's tweet, one user, Benedicta Weir, at Adzo72, said, "I have watched the film. It's gripping. We'll fight back this time. They'll not get away with bullying, harassing, and abusing Meghan and Harry. A shameful, ridiculous and purposeless institution. It is quite ridiculous to blame the institution for the unraveling of two people with personality disorders. They entered knowing full well what was expected of them. Diana was but a teenager when she got married, and she made huge mistakes that she is said to have later regretted. As for the other person, she was a well-traveled older woman with an agenda that was an insult to the traditions of the majority of Brits who had welcomed her. Most other people, male and female, who have joined the BRF have managed quite well. The trio of Markle, Henry, and Scobie are cursed with ugly, vindictive souls." CNN writer Lisa Respers France said, sobbing watching The Princess, "It's sad to think that women who dare to go against tradition are still being vilified." Hearing Princess Diana being described as a manipulative liar who loved the attention and was out to destroy the monarchy sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Others added that they could understand why Prince Harry had wanted to move out of the country, to protect Meghan. They claimed. One Twitter user, tired of this at TiredJanique, said, "Watching The Princess on HBO, I can see why Harry wanted to protect Meghan so fiercely. The paparazzi were ravenous and she never knew a moment's peace." B, at Italian B, added, "I'm so glad that Prince Harry took Princess Meghan away from all that. I'm so glad they're safe." However, not everyone wanted to hear from Mr. Scobie on the issue. One Twitter user, Jan Taylor, at JanTaylor00, asked why he wrote about the royal family if he disliked them so much, while CS09, at 87 CPS, simply said, "Oh, go away." Another Twitter user, Lori J, at Haleydo, added that Princess Diana should be left to rest in peace without the release of new movies and documentaries. She said, "It's time to let her rest in peace and let her sons live their lives without the constant barrage of movies and documentaries about their mother. Enough already." "Oh, go away. She's nothing like another Diana." Diana was from an old aristocratic family. She knew the royals from childhood. She was much loved, Unlike this attention-seeking woman, she'd have told Harry good and proper not to leap in, and not to upset his brother publicly as they both did. Hess allowed this woman free rein to insult and destroy his family. Bad move, Harry. The public won't forget this. The documentary uses archival footage and news clips from the 1980s and 1990s to follow Princess Diana's life. However, the film does not use commentators or historians to contextualize the clips. Due to this, viewers can watch the newsreels as they were presented at the time. The documentary also focuses on the late Princess of Wales' relationship with the media, something her son, Prince Harry, has repeatedly pointed to when asked why the Sussexes wanted to leave the royal life. During the couple's famous bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey, Prince Harry claimed that history was repeating itself. He said, "My biggest concern was history repeating itself, and I've said that before on numerous occasions, very publicly. And what I was seeing was history repeating itself. But more, perhaps. Or definitely far more dangerous, because then you add a race in and you add social media in. When I'm talking about history repeating itself, I'm talking about my mother. It's time to let her rest in peace and let her sons live their lives without the constant barrage of movies and documentaries about their mother. Enough already. Please direct your comments towards H and his vile wife. They're constantly bringing back D for Profit and Victimization Act. Think a lot of what Diana did was because of what she was conned with by the man she did the TV interview with. The one she instantly regretted doing. All the lies she was told made her extremely paranoid, and she got rid of her. That's why she was able to get into a car with a drunk diver and not wearing a seatbelt. If she still had her up, she may still have been alive today. Her silly squad is the worst on Twitter, and I think even includes Twitter staff who suspend accounts or comments. Recently got suspended for calling Meghan a bimbo. They said it was a racial slur? I've never heard that, and it's certainly not the definition of the word. If the squaddies want to fight back, they would need to begin by telling the truth, admit the lies Methane told. She is not a princess, she deliberately plays the race card, and how they can compare Methane to Diana is unbelievable. I have yet to see a picture of Methane being chased down a street the way Diana and Kate were by the paps when they first hooked up with the royal family. The institution of the royal family does not destroy people. Most people fit into it just fine. Look at Kate, Sophie, Camilla, and Sir Tim. Even Philip. All married into it and found their way. Meghan is one of the few total failures. Nor can it be blamed on her being a foreigner. Traditionally, there have been more foreign-born brides than British-born ones, and most of them adapted just fine too. Meghan's biggest problem was that she saw them as a combination of Hollywood celebrities and Disney princesses that could be harnessed for her own agenda. As for Diana, yes, she did get stalked by the press, but she was often her own worst enemy in that regard, as she certainly wasn't above using them just as much as they used her.